could you fly as well as land an airplane using only your feet?
I do feel like I want the power off, and flaps is the right one, right?
Correct. You got the runway?
Yeah.
These are the prototype hands-free controls for Jessica's new impossible airplane.
Let's get back on that center line.
She's the world's first licensed pilot with no arms.
I gotta give you a sticker.
Okay.
Says I flew the impossible airplane.
Stay tuned to see if I can pull off the landing.
Checking the oil here, making sure we have good amount of oil. Yeah, we're at a good level here. It looks good. Screw that tight. Make sure it catches. There we go.
I've been following Jessica's story for quite a few years now, and it was awesome to finally get to meet her and see the latest things she's working on that's really going to change things for her.
All right, Jessica, I think you have the most unique airplane situation I've ever heard of. You want to tell me about how you fly?
I've been flying an air coupe for 15 years with my feet, and now we're on to the next plane, which is going to make it so much easier. Because it's always been awkward flying an air coupe. You know, I can fly about an hour and a half, and then I'm fatigued because of the abdominal work.
Yeah.
It's like being in a crunch the whole time. And now we're getting this plane built, but we are so happy because we're going to be able to make these custom things to make it easier. Right here alone, we have a button to open the door. I'm out here, I could press this button and it'll open the door, and I can do the same thing when I'm inside. So I'll be sitting in the PIC seat, I'll be able to do the same cool thing.
So previously you had to modify yourself to work with the setup. With this situation, you've completely customized controls to be ergonomic to your situation.
It's pretty awesome. I'll go ahead and close the door so you can see that too. It's just fun pressing the button, so. Yeah. There we go. And it locks it too.
Yeah, the handle actually actuates.
Thanks to the students from the Oregon Institute of Technology. They're amazing.
So the controls are not yet modified in there, right?
No. We have them out here so that everyone can try them out and feel what it's like. And then it will eventually get to a point where they're all inside.
So this is currently just demonstrating the cockpit and the door.
Exactly.
So you want to show me so you've got a setup rigged up here that is going to be ultimately how you fly?
Yeah, so basically I just take my shoes off and fly bare feet, just like this. So some of these controls I'm having to relearn, well, basically learn, because the air coupe had the ailerons and the rudders interconnected. And basically I was just steering that yoke, that pretzel yoke in the air coupe with my right foot. And then I had my left foot on the throttle. But now I have this other axis of control that I needed to learn, which is why it's like I'm learning how to fly all over again. And I will say, though, this is so intuitive. I also had to learn how to use flaps because the air coupe does not have flaps. The tips of the pedals have these brakes. And the differential braking is something I also had to get used to because the air coupe has a single foot brake.
Because that's a good point, because you're not only learning new controls, but you got other aspects of the aircraft that you didn't deal with before.
Exactly.
So that's a lot.
I mean, the flaps, having to do the throttle here, the differential braking, and then the other axis of control that I have to learn. So it's all very new to me, and it's amazing. I really appreciate that this is all here at the level of my feet, because before I was like this. I had my right foot on the yoke and my left foot on the throttle.
Right.
And I was getting a good ab workout, but it was fatiguing and not comfortable. So I could only fly for an hour and a half. Now, with this, I can probably fly for until I need to fuel up again.
Or your bladder tells you got to land.
There you go, yeah.
Do you want to talk about how this got developed?
So we started off with, we always had in mind there's got to be an easier way to fly with feet. And the University of Arizona engineering students, they were amazing. They went to the task of trying to figure out all of the controls of flight and then be able to implement it into a design so that it could be done with feet. And so they came up with this thing over here, which is the first version of it. And then a friend of ours, Joe Getz, took it upon himself to make this model right here that you see that I've been using. It's something that everyone else can try here at AirVenture. It's more indestructible, and it's obviously not the wood version. He was nice enough to design that. He's built a helicopter, so he had some experience. And here we are with this amazing set of controls. There'll still be a little bit of refinement, but it's come a long ways, and I feel very good about it. I just need to get some more hours under my belt transitioning to this as opposed to 15 years of the air coupe.
Yeah, that's legit. You're doing a self-checkout on a new type of equipment. Anybody would have trouble with that. And you want to talk about the fact that it's an RV10 and things like that?
Sure. So when we started this project, we announced this project in 2020, and Vans got behind this 100% and said, you know, we're going to help you out here. So we decided the RV10 was going to be the way to go. And I mean, for one, it has 4 seats, so I can now fly children with disabilities, anyone who needs inspiration, so we're excited about that. And at the same time, I can also have a safety pilot if I need to be able to get me up to speed to fly safely. So the versatility of the RV10 was great, and it's a lot faster than an air coupe. I mean, it goes, 200 miles per hour versus the 90 miles per hour that I'm used to.
You want to talk about how you would manage avionics control and things like that? Can you put them lower too, or what's your plan there?
So that's what's wonderful about picking the experimental route is we have the ability to do whatever we need to do to make this comfortable. And that's what I love about it is not only the doors and the foot controls, but now we're going to be able to control avionics and where they go and how I activate them. So we're going to probably have those on the floor. We're not into that phase yet, so that's why we need some suggestions. What are we going to do for my positioning and where my toes can reach and not compromise safety by taking my feet off the controls?
So I couldn't leave here without trying to fly this thing. But first, both Jessica and I will be at AirVenture this year. She's doing a talk at Forum Stage 5 at 10 a.m. on Monday, and I'll have the RV14 on display at IAC, and we'll also be doing a talk about what it was like to build it, learn to fly aerobatics, and then compete for the first time in that airplane. All right, let's get back on board and see if I can fly with my feet.
So I need to be like here-ish?
Yep. So
Okay.
get your feet, or get your heels all the way back to the heel stops.
Yeah.
There you go. And feel the pitch motion. You'll need to pull it way back towards you.
So that's
There you go.
flaps and throttle?
Yep.
So I want flaps. So that's clean
Yep,
and that's full? Do I want full though on final? Should I leave it there?
Probably.
Okay, all right, let's give her a shot. So I do feel like I want the power off, and I feel like this is okay. And flaps is the right one, right?
Correct. You got the runway?
Yep.
It is so weird to do this with no hands.
So do I have like stages of flaps?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get back on that center line.
You can see I'm really struggling to lift my control foot to deal with throttle and flaps. Stay tuned for a debrief with Jessica about my thoughts on that.
A bit more throttle.
Yep. I'm going 90, right? So I'm fast.
You're doing about 90 knots right now, and drop it. At about 85. Ignore the power lines.
Okay. Oh, power line. Now I see them. Yeah, we're going to ignore that.
Doing about 80 knots.
Yeah, it feels hard to add power.
Yep.
So I'm landing short. And then toe brakes. All right, we didn't die.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so you got to get good quad strength, eh?
Yeah.
I don't have or a hamstring. We did it. We flew through power lines and we were a little low.
You survived though. You landed it.
What's the success rate that you're seeing with people doing this?
Not so much on the first try. It's pretty dang good. Yeah. I gotta give you a sticker.
Okay.
Says I flew the impossible airplane, and I'll give you 2.
Okay, take 2. All right.
Yeah.
One for my daughter.
Yes. Good job.
I fly a lot of different things. It's not really fair. I got to jump in and just like quickly calibrate. So I do that all the time. Awesome.
So intuitive?
Yeah. My biggest challenge was there was a lot of times where I wanted to get to the throttle, but I was like, I feel like if I let off the pedal, I'm going to lose
The control.
Yeah. Like I could tell the spring loaded, it was going to like go the way I didn't want to when I let go.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like if there's something that allowed you to get your heel more captured. So you have a really, because you don't want to be a toe, you don't want to have a strap around your toe because you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
So you need something on the back of your heel
to give more
cup it. Yeah, just if these things have a bit more of a lip,
yeah,
then it would be, you'd be holding it better. Because I felt like if I let go of this pedal, it was pulling away from me and I couldn't keep it there.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I felt like as soon as I let go to go for the throttle, like I had to be very calculated. I didn't feel like I have as much like easy tweaking. So I left the throttle where it wasn't necessarily ideal, longer.
Oh.
Because I was like, I can't go confidently over there. So I was like, speed's okay. I'm going to leave it where it is. Even though I'm shallow, I'm not going to go try to add power now. Because I feel like if I add power, then I'm going to just have to get back to take it away later. And like my profile is going to work here. It's just going to be a bit shallow. So I was like compromising what I would have maybe done.
Got it.
So less fine on the control inputs. Because I didn't want to keep changing. But you probably do that all the time. So you're going to be more talented in that regard. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm going to just set it and forget it on a couple things. That's kind of, I think that's how I was treating the throttle. Just like, I'm going to put it here, and then until I really need it, I'm going to go back to it.
So we should not have to do that.
Shouldn't have to.
We should be able to figure out a way that doesn't.
So one foot should be able to keep everything where it is while you go for the throttle.
1 foot control, maybe. Yeah. That's a good point. Good
Could you do everything with 1 foot? What if you did have 1 foot tied into
everything.
it? And then let your other foot be the one that's just... Because like if your right foot does everything for the controls,
that could be a good possibility.
Why would you need to? Because avionics. Because you're going to need to spend some time with 1 foot.
I'm going to need a limb for avionics. Yep.
So maybe you do need to think of a way to tie your foot to the controls.
Yeah.
On the right. And
so you always have the dominant limb on the yoke, right?
Yeah.
So that is my right foot. I'm right-footed. So.
Okay. That's what I would want to do personally because I felt like my left foot was compromised because it was the one that had to do the moving.
Oh,
so as soon as I took it off, then I felt like I've just lost authority with my right foot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's the way to isolate the right foot to have all authority. Maybe that's it. Like, because if you tied your right foot only to even if this setup, but don't have a toe thing for your left foot, so your left foot can leave, right foot can't leave. So I can pull. Because that was the problem I was finding is like I couldn't pull with my right. I was like, I got to get back because I don't feel like I can I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Thanks for that feedback.
No problem. Happy to offer it.
So we would love support from people. First of all, ideas on the controls, any suggestions, you can go to theimpossibleairplane.com. We also need sponsors. We need people to get behind this project because we can't do it without them.